And Matt, some really exceptional temperatures out there today and the records tumbling.
Indeed, an historical and fairly sobering day, I think, for UK climate today. Let me just put it all into a little bit of context to begin with. First thing this morning, these were how the temperatures records stood in the UK, the daytime temperature and the nighttime temperature. What is most significant is not only the number of spots that have gone over that, but also by the degree in which they've gone over it. This morning, let's start with the overnight temperatures. For some, they didn't drop below 25 degrees. One of the warmest spots was Emily Moor in West Yorkshire. All these records, of course, will be verified through time by the Met Office. But the daytime one has certainly gone. At 1 p.m, as you've already heard, the first 40 Celsius day here in the UK at Heathrow. And this is how it looks across the nations as well. Wales saw their hottest day yesterday, not quite as hot today, potentially could get even hotter in Scotland to break their national record. And in Northern Ireland, well, things have actually already started to cool down. Across some western areas, we've got the first signs of some fresh air trying to push its way. And it's going to be a slow process, but across central and eastern parts through the rest of this afternoon, the heat continues to build. There's still a few hours of heating out there.
Well, by 9 a.m. this morning, it was already around 30 degrees Celsius. That's 86 Fahrenheit in places, including Benson in Oxfordshire and Bournemouth.
Well, Holly is here now with the latest from the Met Office on those temperatures. I mean, however you look at it, quite incredible numbers today.
Absolutely. Not just today, of course, also last night. So last night was record-breaking. Today has been record-breaking. St Catherine's Point in the Isle of Wight last night didn't fall below, get this, 24.4 degrees. They didn't get any lower than that. That broke the previous record by half a degree, the hottest night on record. And then today, of course, just incredible numbers. Take a look, actually. We've got the top values here across the region. Heathrow, 40.2 degrees, that's 104 Fahrenheit. Charlwood there, just shy of 40 degrees. Now, the previous record stood at 38.7, so Benson equalled that. What's unbelievable about this is we normally break records by points of a degree. We don't break them by a degree and a half. This really is just unprecedented. Hopefully this graph just gives you a sense as well of how unusual these numbers are. So this came in from Dr. Rob Thompson at the University of Reading, and it gives you a sense of where normal summer days fall. So this is normal summer, temperatures in the low 20s. Hot days, we're talking temperatures potentially in the low 30s, say today 38 degrees for Reading, and then of course 40 degrees there for Heathrow. So as I say, unbelievable, unprecedented weather.
It is scary. There's no other,
It is scary. And of course we couldn't be doing this without the changes that we are making to our climate. You just wouldn't see these numbers.
And let's change ahead.
Yes, got some thunderstorms in the forecast. We're losing the extreme heat, but I have to say, still some very warm weather, potentially in the high 20s at times into the coming days.
Well, look, you did mention a few minutes ago how hot it stayed overnight. People have actually been getting in touch with us today with their tips on how they stayed cool last night. Let's just run you through a few of those. Gemma Sankey's been in touch to tell us that we put a hot water bottle in the fridge while we're at work and then put it in the bed to keep their body temperatures down. They say it works like a charm.
Some viewers said the same, and I was telling Matt how I went down and got some ice cubes and wrapped them in a towel. Worked for me.
In great detail.
Others have using a frozen squash bottle wrapped in a pillowcase. Meanwhile, Debbie Knox says, I've had my loft door open for the last week. Lovely and cool upstairs as heat rises.
Good tip. Vicky Gardner says that she slept on the sofa downstairs with her elderly dog, the fan blowing. The dog laid on a cool mat on the sofa, still though very warm, whatever she did.
And Catherine Delaney says she camped in the garden with the kids under a gazebo. I think that sounds like a very good idea.
I just want to mention as well very quickly, viewer Sarah Jane Birch, I just hope she got on okay today. She's a postie. She had a very warm night. She said she was looking forward to a sweltering working day ahead. Hope it all went okay, and just worth sparing a thought for those people working out in this heat today.
Well, after our spell of extreme weather, we are seeing some changes. This evening, currently we're seeing a weather front moving through, bringing some less hot air, also the threat of some thundery showers. Tomorrow too, we could see some thunderstorms developing with a warning in force for parts of the region. But while we're seeing the extreme heat easing, we have still got some very warm weather to come at times into the next few days. Well, a bit of a let-up in the heat, although as I say, still some very warm weather to come, but a more significant let-up in the pollen levels. Low conditions into the coming days, and what we have got is mainly weed. Take care.
Right, it's time for the all-important weather, and Ben Rich is here. Please tell us it is definitely going to cool down.
It is going to cool down, George, and I think for most that will be very good news because, of course, today We have broken a record. It's a record I don't think we wanted to break. 40.3 degrees in Lincolnshire today. That's the provisional temperature. And normally when we break records, it's by a fraction of a degree. This has broken the old record by more than 1.5 degrees. Not only that, according to the Met Office, so far it looks like 29 observing stations across England beat the old record today. And in Scotland, southern Scotland, we saw a new record for Scotland. And if you are looking for rain, well, this isn't good news with high pressure building in. Yes, there will be some showers, but not the widespread rain that many of us need as we head through Thursday and Friday. But the good news is the heat, the real heat, is coming to an end. George.
Good to hear. Thanks, Ben.
On this record-breaking temperatures, day of temperatures, let's get the latest on the weather with Elizabeth. Hi there.
Hello, Riz. I'm up on the top of Broadcasting House. There is some cloud over there towards the west, some showers recorded in Northolt. Those showers are moving eastwards along with the fresher feeling air. Now, there is still a Met Office red weather warning in force, valid until midnight tonight, an uncomfortable night's sleep. That cooler air will be filtering its way eastwards as we head throughout the night, but the showers won't be everywhere, and certainly we do need some wet weather for the gardens. Of course, very welcome rain.
Well, let's get that all-important weather forecast now. And Becky is in Suffolk, which yesterday recorded the UK's hottest day of the year. It was one of the hottest days again today. And Becky, this is not just a normal summer, is it?
Well, yes and no. I mean, lots of people have been writing in about this. Yes, of course, it's normal for temperatures to rise in the summer, but we've got a new temperature record just 3 short years after the last temperature record was set. That's not normal. I'll tell you what else is not normal, and that is that we now have nearly double the number of days a year where the temperature exceeds 30 degrees. That's nearly double in just 30 years. Let's have a look at this chart as well. It's not just the UK. You don't need to be a climatologist to see the huge difference in this global heat comparison chart in less than 50 years. Yesterday here at Cavendish in Suffolk, as you say, it was one of the hottest places in the UK. 38 degrees yesterday, 38 degrees today. But not too far away in Coningsby in Lincolnshire today, a new record was set, 40.3 degrees. That's 105 Fahrenheit. That's hotter than anywhere in Europe, hotter than 99% of the planet. No, this is not normal, but it may become the new normal.
Wondering, have we seen the peak of the heat then?
Well, this is the good news for those who are really struggling in the heat, and feathered and furred and human as well. Yes, we have seen the peak of the heat now. Already we've got cooler and fresher air tumbling in from the west, so a much more comfortable night for sleeping tonight. But as inevitably happens in these situations, we've also got thunderstorms to contend with. So the heat now has, as I say, really peaked, and it has been, as you can see, a UK-wide event. 40 degrees, as I say, in Lincolnshire and at Heathrow, and Scotland have recorded a new high as well. But as I say, over the next few days, if we have a look, you can see that mercifully we've got cooler air spreading in now and into tomorrow, but we've got thunderstorms to contend with as well, particularly in the south. And then as we look ahead then to the next few days, feast your eyes on this if you've been struggling in the heat. It really does start to return to business as usual. By the time we get to Saturday, it is going to be an extremely pleasant 24 degrees. So watch out for the impacts of those pretty lively thunderstorms, particularly in the south through tomorrow, but definitely things calming down, and I'm very relieved. I'm pretty tired. Back to you.
I bet. Hopefully you can get into some aircon soon. Becky, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Do take care. Bye-bye.